Imagine waking up to turquoise waters, white sand beaches, and a warm Caribbean breeze that carries the scent of tropical flowers. That is exactly what awaits you in the United States Virgin Islands, one of the most stunning destinations in the entire Caribbean. Nestled between the Atlantic Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, this American territory is made up of three main islands: St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix, along with dozens of smaller cays and islets. Each island has its own distinct personality, its own rhythm, and its own set of experiences that make it worth exploring. St. Thomas is the most developed and commercially vibrant, known for its world-class shopping and bustling harbour. St. John is the nature lover's paradise, with nearly two-thirds of its land protected as a national park. St. Croix, the largest of the three, offers a rich blend of history, culture, and untouched natural beauty. Together they form a destination that is unlike anywhere else in the Caribbean, and unlike many international destinations, traveling here as an American citizen is remarkably straightforward. No passport is required for United States citizens, making it one of the most accessible tropical getaways you can find. But before you pack your bags and book your flight, there are several important things you need to know to make your trip as smooth, enjoyable, and memorable as possible. Getting to the United States Virgin Islands is easier than most people think. The main entry point is Cyril E. King Airport on St. Thomas, which receives direct flights from several major United States cities, including New York, Miami, Atlanta, and Charlotte. St. Croix also has its own airport, Henry E. Rolson Airport, which handles a smaller number of direct flights. If you are heading to St. John, you will need to fly into St. Thomas first, and then take a ferry, as St. John has no commercial airport. The ferry ride from Red Hook on the eastern tip of St. Thomas to Cruz Bay on St. John takes roughly 20 minutes and runs frequently throughout the day. There are also ferry services between the islands and to nearby British Virgin Islands, though crossing to the British Virgin Islands does require a valid passport. Once you arrive, getting around requires a bit of planning. The islands drive on the left side of the road, which can be surprising given that they are a United States territory. This is a legacy of Danish rule, as Denmark originally colonized the islands before selling them to the United States in 1917. Renting a car is highly recommended if you want the freedom to explore at your own pace, but be prepared for narrow, winding mountain roads and steep hills. Taxis and safari buses, which are open-air trucks with bench seating, are also popular and affordable options for getting around, particularly on St. Thomas and St. John. The United States Virgin Islands enjoy a tropical climate year-round, with warm temperatures typically hovering between the mid-70s and mid-80s degrees Fahrenheit throughout the year. However, the timing of your visit can significantly impact your experience. The peak tourist season runs from mid-December through April, when the weather is at its driest and most comfortable. This period also coincides with the highest prices for flights and accommodations, so booking well in advance is essential if you plan to travel during these months. The shoulder season, which spans from May through July, offers a sweet spot of good weather, fewer crowds, and slightly lower prices. The hurricane season officially runs from June through November, with the highest risk of storms occurring between August and October. While this does not mean a hurricane is guaranteed during your visit, it is a risk worth considering. Travel insurance that covers weather-related cancellations is strongly recommended if you plan to visit during this period. Regardless of when you go, you can expect plenty of sunshine, warm ocean temperatures perfect for swimming and snorkeling, and the kind of natural beauty that makes every day feel like a postcard. One of the conveniences of visiting the United States Virgin Islands is that the official currency is the United States dollar, so there is no need to worry about currency exchange or conversion rates. Credit cards are widely accepted at hotels, restaurants, and larger shops, but it is always a good idea to carry some cash for smaller vendors, local markets, and tipping. Speaking of costs, the United States Virgin Islands is not a budget destination. The cost of living on the islands is higher than on the mainland United States, largely because most goods need to be imported. Groceries, dining out, and everyday items tend to be noticeably more expensive than what you might be used to. A mid-range meal at a restaurant can easily cost between $30 and $60 per person, and accommodation options range from around $150 per night for a modest guest house to several hundred or even thousands of dollars per night at luxury resorts. That said, there are ways to manage your budget. Cooking some of your own meals if you have access to a kitchen, shopping at local grocery stores, and exploring free natural attractions like beaches and hiking trails can all help keep costs in check. St. John in particular offers some of the most breathtaking free experiences in the entire Caribbean, from the pristine beaches of Trunk Bay to the stunning hiking trails of Virgin Islands National Park. The culture of the United States Virgin Islands is a rich and vibrant tapestry woven from African, Danish, and Caribbean influences. The local population, known as Virgin Islanders, are warm and welcoming people with a deep sense of pride in their heritage and traditions. One of the most important things to understand before you visit is that local etiquette places a strong emphasis on greetings and courtesy. It is considered rude to walk into a shop or approach someone without first saying good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This simple gesture goes a long way in showing respect for the local culture and will be warmly received wherever you go. The official language is English, which makes communication easy for most visitors, but you will also hear a local Creole dialect that reflects the island's diverse heritage. Music is central to island life, and you are likely to encounter the sounds of calypso, reggae, and the distinctive steel pan, which is the official instrument of the United States Virgin Islands. Local festivals and events are also a wonderful way to experience the culture firsthand. Carnival on St. Thomas, typically held in late April and early May, is one of the most spectacular celebrations in the Caribbean, featuring colorful parades, live music, and vibrant costumes. St. Croix hosts its own carnival during the Christmas season, and St. John celebrates with festivities around the 4th of July. The United States Virgin Islands offer an extraordinary range of experiences for every type of traveler. Beach lovers will be in absolute heaven with some of the most beautiful stretches of sand in the world at their fingertips. Trunk Bay on St. John is consistently ranked among the top beaches in the world, featuring an underwater snorkeling trail that guides you through a stunning coral reef teeming with marine life. Magens Bay on St. Thomas is another iconic beach, a long crescent of calm, clear water perfect for swimming and relaxing. For those who love the water, snorkeling and scuba diving are absolute must-dos. The waters around the islands are home to vibrant coral reefs, sea turtles, rays, and an incredible diversity of tropical fish. Buck Island Reef, National Monument near St. Croix, is a protected marine sanctuary and one of the finest snorkeling and diving destinations in the entire Caribbean. History enthusiasts will find plenty to explore as well. Christiansted and Frederiksted on St. Croix are filled with well-preserved Danish colonial architecture, historic forts, and fascinating museums that tell the story of the island's complex past. Fort Christian in Charlotte-Amalie on St. Thomas is one of the oldest standing structures in the United States Virgin Islands and offers a compelling window into the island's colonial history. Charlotte-Amalie itself is also famous for its duty-free shopping, with a wide array of jewelry, watches, perfumes, and local crafts available along its charming historic streets. Whether you are seeking adventure, relaxation, cultural enrichment, or simply the chance to disconnect from the everyday world and immerse yourself in natural beauty, the United States Virgin Islands deliver on every level. With the right preparation and an open spirit, your trip to this extraordinary destination will be an experience you carry with you for the rest of your life.